Running a Cardano stake pool can be very, very profitable, but recently Cardano has hit a new all-time low for the past year of 24 and a bit cents, and that also deters a lot of people and takes down profits of pretty much every single Cardano stake pool operator in the network in terms of USD valuations. Now, in today's video, I've been running a stake pool for over a year now. I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of profitability too, I would say, but it's not an easy thing to do. And myself at first, we were even struggling running a successful stake pool because the metric of running a successful stake pool has nothing to do with technical experience, but it rather has to do a lot more with social influence and your experience of marketing. So now that Cardano is 25 cents, the room for error here, or the amount of more effort you're going to have to put in to make a successful stake pool, is quite a bit more. But there also is a silver lining that you could have a lot more Cardano to help yourself stake your own stake pool easier because Cardano is worth less. So you need less USD valuation of delegates or people actually bringing in capital to your stake pool, but you still need the same amount of ADA, which is around 1 million to mint blocks regularly and to make a sustainable pool or a profitable pool a more likely thing. As you can see here, my pool has 8 million ADA, which is a crazy amount delegated to it, over 1,300 different people. This also has a lot to do with the fact that, one, I run a YouTube channel with 25,000 subscribers dedicated to just Cardano, and I ask people to stake to Jack a lot. And then two, secondly, I attract delegators because people earn Hosky through my stake pool. So those two methods are pretty much how I got to 8 million stake. A lot of people watching my videos and me advertising my stake pool, which not everyone can do, especially if you're just starting from nothing. And two, being in a program that helps incentivize people to basically earn a worthless dog coin called Hosky. And by staking with Jack stake pool, they earn increased versions of Hosky. Now, right now, there are people closing their pools for different reasons. Some because of the min pool fee and the structure of how to get staked because they can't get enough stake. And some people even close their pools that are successful because it is a lot to do in the sense of delivering things for the people delegating to you, if you're aiming to do that, or in general, just doing more than just average. Also, when you're starting a stake pool, you're competing with people out there who have been in it since the get-go, since the start of stake pools, and attracted stake organically because there wasn't many options. Most people don't really just change their stake for no reason, and there's a ton of people out there. Out of the 74% of all Cardano staked, a lot of that stake just stays stationary in the same places, earning rewards on stake pools that are reliable, which is understandable, but a lot of people don't have reasons to change to your stake pool because you're not out there advertising, you're not out there doing things and getting in front of their face or giving them a bad reason to do so, which is another hard part of the struggle of a stake pool operator and attracting stake. And arguably the one thing you should really consider before you're going to decide to start your own stake pool. You can try it without, especially if you have your own bare metal servers to host it on, then that is even greater because it won't cost you nearly as much if you already have that equipment. But if you're going to be using cloud services or anything else other than your own hardware, it is going to put you out of pocket quite a bit. I made a few other videos about staking, how much stake pool operators make. I'll leave those down in the description too because they are pretty useful if you want to go over directly how stake pool operators make money. And compared to nowadays, it's not very much when Cardano is at 25 cents. If we go here, look at the min fee, which is 340. So basically, this is the minimum fee a stake pool operator will receive as a reward for running their stake pool every 5 days if a block is minted, just one block or more. If it's 5, this fee is still 340. And then after that, it's based on the margin cut of rewards the operator has set. I had this set for 0% for the first year of my pool pretty much. And I've only since switched it to a lower margin fee of 1.69%. Now, a margin fee doesn't give you that much ADA with a low pool. So the min fee is really going to be where most of your ADA is coming from. Let's say you can get a stake pool with over 1 million ADA in it. You're expecting to make around $85 worth of Cardano at current prices every 5 days. And that's saying that you can actually get a pool with about 1 to 1.5 million stake and get your 100% luck. So just be average and don't have any bad luck every epoch, and you'll get $85 worth of Cardano or 340 Cardano. Now, currently, that should easily be able to support yourself in operating a stake pool, at least the cost associated with hardware and whatever else. Even if you're with cloud-based services, that should cover it. $85 every 5 days. Times 6, that's your monthly coverage. But to be honest, that's only for operating costs. Most people don't have a YouTube channel like I do or a way to get delegates, and they're going to need a marketing budget or some other form of getting in front of people, which is, again, another expense that would be at the stake pool's expense, and this is not an easy one either. Right now, there is something called liquidity bonds that are live on Optimum Finance. This allows stake pool operators to lend out the staking rewards, not the actual ADA, but the staking rewards, and even use it as pledge in their stake pool for 1 million to 1.5 million ADA. And people are doing this. They are bootstrapping their pools. This way is pretty good. You do pay a premium on getting this ADA, but this is a great way to surpass that 1 million ADA limit and possibly get more delegates into your pool, because once you get past every single epoch you're minting a block, more delegates are going to come over because they know rewards will be more stable. And if you have less than 1 million ADA in your pool, people will be a bit hesitant because they're not going to get that reward every 5 days that they might be looking for. It may average out a bit, but it will overall pretty much every single time be a less return on average on their ADA if it is with a stake pool with smaller stake, and especially stake pool with less than 1 million ADA who's not minting a block every epoch. Now, that is okay. There is tools to use this, but these tools are going to cost you some ADA out of your marketing budget, and of which likely will exceed the budget it's going to take to actually or what you actually be making from the stake pool, which then now is going to require you to put in extra money on top of what you're already doing to run a successful stake pool, and you will be out of pocket at this point. Now, taking a look at my rewards for my stake pool, you can see here I make around 400 ADA every 5 days from running the stake pool, sometimes more, sometimes a lot more if the luck is good, and sometimes less. It really depends on the luck of the stake pool and a few other factors. It also depends on how much ADA I have staked personally with the stake pool. My pledge is 30,000 ADA, and in general, it has been pretty smooth sailing since my stake pool got above 2 million ADA. But at first, we were hovering, minting a block every few epochs, and getting stake attraction, even with a YouTube channel with thousands of views a day. Advertising Jack Stake Pool was not an easy task. So if you're looking to make a stake pool, I really do like the idea of more people making stake pools, but it is going to be hard and difficult to attract stake because the majority of people are competing for the same subsection of stake on here using Twitter and using YouTube to attract delegates. I also want you to note that there are a lot of stake pools out there who run, multiple stake pools, whether it be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's stake pools out there that run multiple stake pools to take advantage of the early start they had, and that is also going to be your competition. So if you're thinking about starting a stake pool, I think it's a great idea. Technically, it's not that hard. There's tons of guides out there. I learned myself and with the support of some other stake pool operators. But from a marketing point of view and actually getting it profitable, that is the hardest part by far. So I want to put this video out there and tell you it is going to be hard. Pledge to me doesn't seem to matter as much for starting a stake pool, although a higher pledge will increase your likelihood of being trusted by delegates and increase your score on some of these staking apps. It is not a necessary 100% thing to have there. If you have incentives, if you have good marketing, you don't need a high pledge, but a nice pledge if you have ADA isn't a bad idea either. Now, I also want to let you guys know that my stake pool is a single pool operator, meaning I'm only going to operate this pool, and I only plan on operating this pool ever, never more pools. Even if we hit that max saturation point of 60 million ADA, where rewards start to go down and we just stay there, I'm not going to create another pool. I promise you that I'm not creating a second pool. And I think that's important to note. If you're starting a stake pool, you can also have things that incentivize people to stake with you, like you're a single pool operator. Maybe you support a mission-driven thing. You donate 10% of your staking rewards to a charity or something like that. There's a bunch of things that can attract people if you have a goal that you want to accomplish that you can use for your stake pool. But ultimately, it is going to be a difficult venture to start a stake pool in these climates when Cardano price is so low, and also the marketing for Cardano is harder because there's not as many eyes on it in general, meaning there's not as many delegates that are in competition to move their stake. If you want more information on this or stake pools in general, I'm happy to help. But in general, it's going to be hard. I encourage people to try if they want to. It's going to be a difficult challenge to start a successful stake pool, especially nowadays, but it's just going to get harder likely as time goes on. This min fee here that takes 340 ADA per epoch out of rewards does hinder smaller pools, but this hopefully is going to be changed in the future, in the near future. However, it also is hard to be profitable without this for small pools. we'll see how that goes. I'm going to make more videos on it as things develop in Cardano, but Cardano as a protocol is doing great right now. Running a stake pool is a great way to support decentralization, and staking with single operators is also another way to support decentralization, or just staking with someone who you think you want control of, minting blocks and trust on the blockchain. That's a great way too. So I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. It's me, your friend Jack. I will leave links to down in the description to videos that I mentioned, like how much SPOs make and the breakdown on that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.